procrastination is the assassination of your destination.
Woo.
Your problems aren't your daddy issues or your past or what so-and-so did to you or XYZ authority and that person, that leader, that memory. None of that's your enemy. The enemy of your breakthrough, the enemy of your next level, the enemy of your wealth isn't mindset, it's delay.
Woo. Yeah. Without Fear of Her Future podcast is for women who are passionately pursuing financial freedom, using multiple streams of income and real estate to accomplish their goals. We are here to empower you to be brave, dream big, and design a life that you love. I'm your co-host, Teresa Todd, founder of the Women's Real Estate Investors Network and author of the book, Without Fear of Her Future.
And I'm Melissa Baker, a real estate investor and fitness coach specializing in turning properties from drab to fab. I'm here to help motivate and inspire you to build your dream life because, girl, you deserve it. This week, we are overjoyed to welcome an extraordinary entrepreneur who went from a pastor to co-founding powerhouse brands like Confident Closer, Virtual Event Secrets, and Elite Entrepreneurs. Eileen Wilder is here to share her secret sauce to skyrocketing revenue. Brace yourselves as she peels back the curtain on her unique philosophy that selling is serving and reveals how you too can transform your life through words. Let's welcome Eileen to the show. Hi, Eileen. Welcome. We're so glad you're here.
Yes.
Thanks so much. Thank you guys. So excited to be here.
Well, I have been telling Melissa how amazing you are, that you are just a ball of fire. And so I know that our listeners are going to love this episode.
Yes. Eileen, we want to get started by just having you share your unique journey from a pastor to high-ticket sales expert and virtual events coach. Can we start there?
Yes, 100%. So yeah, and thanks again for having me. And for those of you listening, 5 years ago, I was a pastor. Yeah, so I've been in ministry for 20 years and I transitioned, kind of jumped in feet first to the entrepreneurial world. I was like just lost and heard all the people using business terms and words and things like offers and high ticket. I didn't understand any of it, but I knew that I wanted to change the world. And someone told me at a conference that I could change the world and make money. And I was like, what? I had never heard that I could change the world and make money. I had just thought maybe money was for other people or for the 1% or for super wealthy people who had trust fund or were born wealthy. I didn't know that you could create wealth. And some of the speakers there at the conference kind of ignited my imagination. And it kind of then I went back to the scripture and started seeing things in a fresh, new way about things like God wanting us to have dominion. For him, he gave us like the blessing to create wealth. And I just started becoming awakened to the opportunity that maybe I could have both.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I could change the world. Maybe I could help people. Maybe I could encourage them. And maybe I could also make money. So that began my transition from ministry.
Man, I love it. And I know right there, our listeners are like, that got them. They're like, what? I too, Eileen, I think when you grow up in the church, like you and I do, we don't really hear about ways to make money or, that we should make money and what a difference we can make. So I know that our listeners are absolutely going to love this.
Yes. So that background is pretty unique as far as now being an entrepreneur. So how did that shape your approach to your business?
Yes. Well, what was crazy sauce, girls, is that when I came into the entrepreneur world, what I didn't know is that the ministry world that I'd come from, the training I had been in, was incredible. And I felt gave me an unfair advantage as an entrepreneur because things like being able to speak in front of other people, being able to communicate with other people, being able to encourage, help people through issues, the people skills that I gained from being in nonprofit work gave me this incredible kind of leg up that I believe caused me to actually create wealth a lot faster than many other people. So I'm actually so grateful for the skills, the training, the mentorship. There were so many things I learned in 20 years of nonprofit ministry that the second I put my toe into the business world and as an entrepreneur, I felt, oh my gosh, that was a huge blessing.
Yeah.
It just goes to show how God can use all of the things from our past to create such an incredible future and use us in ways that we never even knew we were going to be used, right?
100%. It was like in many ways when I became an entrepreneur, I was like, this is the life I always dreamed was possible.
Yeah.
But I didn't know existed. I thought it was there. It's like you think maybe like Narnia exists somewhere, maybe, but you don't know how to. Where's the door? Where's the wardrobe? I don't know. And entrepreneurship became where I felt like I could have it all.
Yes.
And then we wound up creating our own nonprofit and then giving a bunch of money to that. So it was just like it's just been a dream.
I love it. I love it. Well, obviously you being a pastor, what was that pivotal moment? Was it a hard decision to go from being a pastor to a businesswoman or entrepreneur?
It was. I mean, our transition from ministry was a little rocky. It was a little shaky. There were some kind of things that were unexpected that happened. And my husband and I wound up moving from the city we were in to Houston, Texas now, and becoming now kind of volunteers at our local church. So that was a little bit of a rocky transition. But once we got our feet under us, and then I attended this conference, I was so broke, I couldn't attend the conference. A friend of mine actually paid for my ticket and paid for my airfare and hotel room. And she's like, I'm going to this business conference. Do you want to come? And I was homeschooling my 3 kids in a 2-bedroom apartment. I was like, you mean I can go with you to hang out with like you and this conference and like have a break for my kids? I'm like, absolutely. So I'm so excited. So I just sat in the back. And so I had kind of gone through this transition looking for my next move. And for those of you listening to this episode, if you've ever been in that kind of season of transition where you just don't know what's happening, you don't know what's happening, you don't know what's happening next, and you're really can be very scary, very vulnerable feeling. I was close to 40. I had no, real investments. We had debt that was mounting. So that season of transition, I just want to give a word of encouragement, can be the season of your launching. It can be the greatest season of your transformation if you're in a transition like that. So I just want to encourage you, don't get scared, just get curious.
That's right. Absolutely. Have your eyes open to see what's next. Yeah. And what's possible. What opportunities are right in front of me? Is somebody inviting me to a conference? Say yes. Say yes.
Yes.
I love it. Well, your success story is nothing short of absolutely remarkable. So how did you manage to build $1 million business in less than 2 years?
Yeah, 100. So I got up I was just listening. I sat in the back of this conference and they were using words like big marketing words. But one of the words stuck out to me, and they used this word called an offer. And they were talking about packaging your expertise, kind of packaging your knowledge and then selling it. And I had never heard that before. I met some people at the conference and they were life coaches. And it started clicking for me that maybe my experience in ministry could be packaged up as like a life coach. I'd never heard of that before. I was like, wait a second, do people pay you money to be a life coach? And they were like, yes. And I was like, oh, so that was just started ignite. I just was like a new world was opening up. Mm-hmm. So I ran home and I filmed a janky video in my apartment where you couldn't see the bed. And I went to like a window with my iPhone and filmed this janky video of like, hey, if you're struggling with this and this and this, and you would like me to help you with this and this and this, you just click a button below, we'll hop on the phone and I'll see if I can help you. And it began my journey. And the very first time someone said yes, I almost fell out of my chair. In fact, I remember the feeling of someone saying yes and then them exchanging money for the knowledge that was in my head.
Wow. I love it.
I do too.
I love it. You know what I love is that you took action. You went to an event, you heard something, and you came home. You didn't wait until you had the perfect background and that all the things. Right. You just did it. And that I believe that's what sets entrepreneurs apart. Those that analyze it to pieces, or those who just do the janky video, as you call it. Yeah.
I love that. That gives a lot of women listening some hope right there to know that you don't have to be perfect. Yep. You don't have to figure it out. You don't have to know all the technology to get started. Right?
Yes.
So, Eileen, you've co-founded several popular online business brands like Confident Closer, Virtual Event Secrets, Elite Entrepreneurs. What was the inspiration behind these brands?
Hmm. Helping other people discover true financial freedom. I know it's a lot like the work that you guys do is helping other people who are kind of stuck in what I call the stay broke system.
Hmm?
Oh, yeah.
People who, we're taught, like I was, let me know if those of you listening heard this in your household, but it was like, go to school, get a job, go to college,
Yep.
go to college, get a job, and you'll be wealthy.
Yeah.
You'll work 40 years, you'll save and you'll scrimp, and maybe you'll live paycheck to paycheck, but one day it'll all pay off
Yeah.
and you can retire
Woo.
wealthy.
What a lie.
And you're like, yeah, and you don't realize until you're in the system, maybe the system isn't working.
Yes.
I read somewhere that 9% of Americans, so this is, maybe you're watching this or listening to this internationally, but 9% of Americans have enough money to retire comfortably. 9%. And we don't realize that we're caught
was
inside the system. So
9%.
that's how
Not 90%. 9%.
9%
Yeah.
of Americans have
Scary,
enough
scary
money to
number.
retire.
Yeah,
Right,
it
so
used to truly be an American dream, but it's not a dream anymore. I mean, it doesn't whenever, many, many years ago that worked and you could truly retire, but that is not the case anymore. And if that's the plan, if you're a listener and that's your plan, boy, you better start rethinking that plan.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Well, now the great news is that there are opportunities
Yes.
like real estate, and there are great opportunities like they're like making an offer, packaging your expertise. There's wonderful
Absolutely.
opportunities for us to create cash infusions quickly to make up for that lost time.
Yes.
So that's what I know, like you, I'm dedicated to helping educate other people to gain true financial
I love
freedom.
it. I love it. And I agree with you. We are in a time of opportunity right now with technology and what you could do with social media. I mean, if you want it bad enough, you can create anything you want. I love it.
Absolutely.
Well, I want to talk a little bit because I know you have a unique philosophy that selling is serving, which I know a lot of people are scared to death of that whole selling word. So explain that concept and how it's kind of reshaped the traditional views, your views on sales.
Yes. Well, I used to think sales was so sleazy. I mean, I don't know about you, but one time I went to a timeshare presentation because I was so broke. My family and I were little itty bitty kids. We wanted to go to Walt Disney World. So we totally went to this timeshare. I never even know what a timeshare was. The guy would not stop talking or let us leave. And it just solidified to me why I thought sales was doing something to someone.
Right.
And how many of us listening think that, like we don't want to do anything we don't want to injure someone and do something to someone, until I realized that there was another kind of sales where selling was serving. And it goes more like this. It's more like, have you ever had the experience where you walked into a store, you were so excited to buy something, the person guided you like a concierge to that sale. You didn't even think you were buying anything or anyone was selling anything to you because you were already sold and so excited about what you were buying.
Yes, I agree.
You don't feel like sales, and that is when somebody is serving you to the sale.
Oh, I love it.
It feels a lot more like love, and it feels a lot more like joy, and it feels a lot more like fun and excitement.
So you're doing something for someone, not to someone. I love it.
100%. It feels great.
Yeah. Well, the strategies have helped so many entrepreneurs. Literally, you're helping entrepreneurs skyrocket their revenues, businesses, create businesses, all of the things. So let's talk a little bit and let's highlight some of those key tactics that you teach.
Yeah, one of the big things that I'll teach people inside our business is what worked for me. So I only teach stuff that I've been able to do. So when I ran home from that conference, made the janky video, I'm on the phone selling my coaching program, I started gaining more confidence in that process. And this is what I love to teach people to do, is to start to sell with love, start to sell with service, start to sell with confidence. And I started actually getting a little proud of the work I was doing. People were getting results. So I started raising my prices. I kept raising it to 400, then 800. Then I'm on the phone selling it for 1,600. Then people are buying it up to 3,200. Then I sold it, Teresa, for $6,000. This very same Christian life coaching package. And what I discovered is this thing called a high ticket offer. Now, what is that? It's where you serve your clients at the highest level. You can hire coaches and take them on experiences and do all this fun stuff with them. And you're creating a cash infusion into your business. So I started selling these high ticket programs, teaching other people to do it. And they were able to hit 6 figures, multi 6 figures, hit $1 million, and even multi-million dollars when they started serving people inside of a high ticket program. So that's one of my favorite way to sell coaching and consulting services and help people.
Love it.
Yeah. So Eileen, you often talk about bringing transformation in the transaction.
Yes.
Can you share some success stories that exemplify this philosophy? We'd love to hear those.
Yes. One of the reasons I teach people why selling someone your coaching or consulting in a high ticket package is when people invest, something different happens in their life. Mm-hmm. The Bible says that where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. Mm-hmm. So when you invite someone's treasure into your opportunity, into your real estate deal, into your knowledge, into your expertise, into whatever it is that's happening, you're actually inviting them to have their heart involved as well. Now, what's awesome about this is people who pay attention. So if you package up your coaching and consulting services into something premium, people will get results like crazy pants. Why? Because they've just invested their treasure. Yeah. So their heart is now engaged as well. And so now they are getting results at a rapid pace.
Right.
And you're getting a cash infusion and serving them at the highest level. So that's why the transformation is.
I love it. I love it. And you have certainly, we are a part of a couple of the same masterminds. Yeah. And so I've got to hear you speak on stage, and I get to see how you are affecting men and women and changing their lives and teaching them these strategies and these skills. And you do it with such grace and so powerful at the same time, which is, you don't always get that. So I know that our listeners need to lean into that. So here in just a minute, I want you to share how our listeners can, get in touch with you. But before that, I just want to give you a chance as we wrap up. Is there if you could just say anything to our listeners to fire them up for 2024, that anything is possible, what would that be?
100%. So I heard this story about a man named W. Clement Stone, who was best friends with Napoleon Hill, kind of back in the 1930s, 1940s. And he made himself say one phrase and one phrase only 100 times a day. And this was the phrase. He made himself say, "Do it now," 100 times a day. Do it now, do it now, do it now, do it now. He lived in a high-rise apartment building, and he made himself say it 100 times before the elevator would hit floor number 1.
Wow.
And then if you worked for him, he made you say it 100 times a day. They said he had Post-it notes all over the building and all over the desks and all over the walls. It was "Do it now." Because he understood that the number one enemy facing you and facing me, it isn't mindset, it's delay. Mm-hmm. I like to say it like this, that procrastination is the assassination of your destination.
Oh, say that. say that one more time. I want to make sure our listeners get this.
Procrastination is the assassination of your destination. Woo. Your problems aren't your daddy issues or your past or what so-and-so did to you or XYZ authority and that person, that leader, that memory. None of that's your enemy. The enemy of your breakthrough, the enemy of your next level, the enemy of your wealth isn't mindset, it's delay.
Woo. Yeah.
And then I'll just close it out saying this, if you think about it, 2/3 of God's name is go.
That's good. So true. Yes.
He's not we're not waiting on him to do anything. He's go, baby, go.
I love it.
So If you're listening to this 2024, whatever that means for you, go to the conference, get the resource, dive into the training, learn a little bit more. Don't get discouraged. Just do it now and go, baby, go.
Woo, I love it.
love that.
Thank you,
Yes,
Eileen.
That's so good. That's so good.
Yes.
Finally, Eileen, I know some of our listeners are definitely going to want to connect with you. Can you tell them how they can connect with you online, and then also tell us what's next for you? We want to know what you have in store for your businesses in 2024.
Yeah, 100%. Yes. Well, we can connect on Instagram or on YouTube. You can find me at my handle is at Eileen Wilder. Or I have a toolkit that could help you gain more financial freedom at speakingschool.com. Speakingschool.com. I have a free toolkit for you. And in 2024, what I'm doing is I'm releasing a new book on how people can gain financial freedom finally. So I'm super excited about that. And I'll be releasing that early 2020, 2024. So I'm super
Okay.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, if you're listening again, you want to be on the lookout for the book and get in touch with Eileen. She is amazing. And Eileen, thank you so much for sharing. I know you're inspiring our listeners.
Yes, they definitely.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Subscribe now to Without Fear of Her Future podcast for new episode alerts. Imagine waking up excited each morning knowing your family is financially secure. Everyday women like you are making life-changing profits through real estate. Join our masterclass for a life-altering transformation that pays for generations. When a near-perfect rating of over 150,000 women have transformed their lives, this is your golden ticket to rapid financial freedom. So dare to dream bigger, seize control of your future. So click the link in the episode descriptions to register for the next masterclass now.
Thank you for joining us today. On behalf of the Women's Real Estate Investors Network and Teresa Todd, I'm Melissa Baker, encouraging you to be brave and dream big.